Hello, all. Welcome to StoryStore. Once upon a time, in a small, cozy village nestled between green hills and sparkling rivers, there lived a girl named Lily. Lily wasn't like the other children in the village. While they ran about playing games and climbing trees, Lily spent her days buried in books. She loved the smell of their pages, the feel of the paper, and, most of all, the way they transported her to distant lands full of wonder. Her bedroom was small, with one big window that let in the sunshine, but it was filled with books of all shapes and sizes. Her shelves sagged under the weight of countless stories. She read everything she could get her hands on, from adventure tales about daring pirates to stories of magical creatures and enchanted forests. One sunny afternoon, as she sat under her favorite tree with her nose in a book, something peculiar happened. A gentle breeze rustled the pages, and a tiny, glowing leaf floated down from the sky, landing softly on her book. Curious, Lily picked it up. It shimmered with a warm, golden light. "I've never seen a leaf like this before," she whispered to herself, her heart beginning to race with excitement. As she held it closer, she noticed tiny words etched into the leaf. They read, "Seek the hidden library where stories come to life." Lily's eyes widened. A hidden library? Could it be real? Her mind buzzed with questions, but she knew one thing for sure. She had to find it. That night, Lily couldn't sleep. She lay in bed staring at the ceiling, thinking of where this magical library could be. Then, in the middle of the night, she had an idea. There was an old abandoned building at the edge of the village, a place where no one went anymore. The grown-ups said it was haunted, but Lily didn't believe in ghosts. Maybe, just maybe, the library was there. The next morning, she set off on her adventure. The sun was shining, and the birds sang merrily in the trees. But Lily's mind was focused on her goal. As she approached the abandoned building, she could feel her heart pounding. The building looked old and forgotten, with ivy creeping up its walls and windows covered in dust. But Lily wasn't afraid. She was too curious. Pushing open the creaky door, Lily stepped inside. It was dark and quiet, except for the sound of her footsteps echoing in the empty halls. She wandered through room after room, searching for any sign of a library. Just as she was about to give up, she noticed something odd. A small wooden door at the very end of the hallway. It was hidden behind a curtain of cobwebs, almost as if it didn't want to be found. With a deep breath, Lily brushed the cobwebs away and reached for the door handle. It felt cold and smooth under her fingers. As she turned the handle and pushed the door open, she gasped. Inside was the most beautiful library she had ever seen. Shelves upon shelves of books lined the walls, stretching up to a ceiling so high that it seemed to disappear into the clouds. Soft golden light filled the room, and the air smelled of old paper and magic. There were plush armchairs in every corner, perfect for curling up with a good book, and in the center of the room was a grand wooden table with an open book resting on it. Lily's eyes sparkled with delight as she stepped into the room. She ran her fingers along the spines of the books, marveling at the sheer number of them. She couldn't believe her luck. She had found the hidden library. As she explored the room, she noticed something strange about the open book on the table. The words on the page seemed to shimmer and dance, almost as if they were alive. Intrigued, Lily leaned in closer to read the first line. "Step into the story and let your adventure begin." Before she could react, a gust of wind swirled around her, lifting her off the ground. The room seemed to spin and blur, and Lily felt a strange sensation, like she was being pulled into the book itself. She closed her eyes tightly, holding her breath, and when she finally opened them again, she found herself standing in a completely different place. Gone was the library. Instead, she was in the middle of a lush green forest. Tall trees towered above her, their leaves rustling in the breeze. Birds chirped merrily, and the scent of pine filled the air. Lily blinked in astonishment. "Where am I?" she whispered, looking around. Just then, a small, furry creature scurried up to her. It looked like a rabbit, but with long, curly whiskers and bright blue fur. It stopped in front of her and wiggled its nose. "Welcome to the Enchanted Forest," it said cheerfully. "I'm Whiskers, your guide." Lily stared at the talking creature, her mouth hanging open. She had read about enchanted forests and talking animals before, but she had never imagined she would actually be in one. "Is this real?" she asked, her voice trembling with excitement. "As real as you want it to be," Whiskers replied with a wink. Come on, there's a lot to see. Lily followed Whiskers through the forest, marveling at the wonders around her. They passed by sparkling rivers that glowed with a soft blue light and fields of flowers that changed color with every step. She even met a group of fairies who were having a tea party under a giant mushroom. They invited her to join, and Lily spent the afternoon sipping tea from tiny cups and listening to their stories. Time seemed to fly by in the enchanted forest, and Lily found herself forgetting all about the library. But as the sun began to set, a gentle reminder tugged at her heart. She had to go back. Whiskers, she said, how do I return to the library? Whiskers smiled. The book brought you here, and the book will take you back. All you have to do is close your eyes and think of home. Lily nodded, and with one last look at the magical world around her, she closed her eyes. She thought of her little bedroom, her cozy bed, and the familiar smell of her favorite books. Suddenly, she felt the world shift again. When she opened her eyes, she was back in the hidden library, standing in front of the grand table with the open book. The words on the page no longer shimmered. They were still and calm. Lily smiled to herself. She had found a magical library where stories came to life, and she knew she could return whenever she wanted. From that day on, Lily visited the hidden library whenever she had the chance. Each time, the book would transport her to a new, wondrous world full of excitement and adventure. But no matter how far she traveled or how many adventures she had, Lily always knew that the greatest adventure of all was the one she found in her books, the adventure of imagination. And so, Lily kept reading, her love for stories growing with each passing day. Because in a world full of words, there was no limit to where she could go or what she could discover. And the best part? Her magical library would always be there, waiting for her to open the next chapter. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more such stories.